Hello, everyone. My name is Joni Smith. I am an early childhood special education teacher with Fairfax County Public Schools.
And hi, my name is Erin Snell. I'm also an early childhood special education teacher with Fairfax County Public Schools.
And we're here today to talk to you about outdoor learning. Over the past year, we've really grown accustomed to spending some more time outside. And so today we'll be discussing how to create learning opportunities from those natural outdoor spaces. Resource and outdoor play in the school setting is often used as a break in learning or to release some energy. Or some people say to just get the wiggles out. Our time together today will reflect natural outdoor play as a necessary component to a child's everyday learning and development, not just that break. For our presentation today, please have a piece of paper and pencil prepared to support collecting ideas and some reflection. You'll also need a smartphone or device that you can use to scan QR codes for additional resources. We'll prompt you when you need to use the QR codes or when you need to write something down.
By the end of the session today, you will understand why and how to include meaningful play in natural environments. As parents and as early childhood special educators, my colleague and I have had an opportunity to use the natural learning environments as motivating and effective spaces to expand upon children's skills in all areas of development. And we hope to share some of those ideas for outdoor play so that you can get started with your students or your children.
Let's start with a look at the research on learning and growth in the outdoors. This list on the slide includes many reasons for using outdoor spaces as learning environments. Play in outdoor learning spaces is proven to be calming because it provides an escape from overstimulating indoor environments. In contrast to the bright colors of many classrooms, the colors of nature are proven to allow for better focus. Studies have shown nature sounds provide a restoring effect after exposed to noise pollution such as bells or sirens or traffic that may put children at a high state of stress. Our overall health is improved with more opportunities to play outside. Improvements in self-regulation, physical fitness, and self-confidence are also noted in this research. These support the basic needs required for student success in academics and participation in regular school environments. Take a moment now and consider this list of benefits and maybe some of your own reasons you are joining us today. Why would you like to incorporate more outdoor learning time in your daily schedule? Pause your video now and restart when you've reconsidered your reasons. Now that you've considered some reasons for incorporating more outdoor learning, we're going to take a look at some specific areas of development and some specific activities that you can use to promote that area of development while engaging with your children or students outdoors.
The first area of development that we're going to explore for outdoor learning is gross motor. And this includes large motor muscles needed to run and jump and move. And in the years from ages 3 to 12, a child undergoes the greatest amount of physical growth that they will through their entire lives. Outdoor natural play fulfills the basic need of movement necessary for growth and motor development. Much more than flat playgrounds that we have, natural play spaces provide the opportunity for children not only to build strength and balance and endurance, but also learn to regulate those skills as they navigate a more unpredictable environment. Frequent play in natural environment encourages good core strength, the basis for coordination, and smooth motor movements and limbs and the rest of the body. Follow your child's lead as they take risks with climbing, running, and lifting. They will create their own play ideas when given the space and support. Play along as you help them keep safe. So some ideas you might want to try is playing on uneven surfaces and climbing opportunities, such as climbing trees or rocks or over fallen trees. And I know as a parent and as a caregiver, I have to hold my breath because I get so anxious when they're jumping from boulders or climbing trees. However, this is healthy risk-taking and gives your child an opportunity to build self-confidence, physical strength, endurance, and for their body to get a sense of the space that they're in. Early experiences with this type of gross motor movement create stronger, well-balanced bodies that are less prone to accidents and clumsiness later on. So considering ways that you can help your child be safe during these activities and feel safe to take risks. Seek some wide open spaces that allow for lots of movement and encourage creativity. Look for large fields to run through with lots of grass. Find a stream to wade in or dig in some sand at the beach. Climb and roll down hills. Mix up those wide spaces and visit different places so you can expand your sensory experiences. Allow for natural materials to become their toys, like the leaves that you find outside, sticks and rocks and pine cones. And then we always want to make sure we're doing heavy work. Heavy work is great for those big muscles. So activities such as moving or turning over rocks and logs, crawling on hands and knees are great heavy work that builds your core muscles and your upper body. And early experiences that include heavy work are great for developing their sense of space and that core again. These are really helpful later on when they're attending schools and they have to sit in a chair at a desk or at circle or on the floor. So you're helping build all those muscles that they need to be the students in the classroom when they go to school.
Natural outdoor play can also enhance development and coordination and endurance in the body's smaller muscles, like the muscles in our hands. Interaction with small objects and resistance build fine motor strength. The more practice children get with grasping and manipulating objects, the greater hand strength and coordination they'll develop. Strong fine motor coordination naturally leads to an easier time with things like writing or playing the piano. Fine motor activities that build hand strength and control include digging in dirt and sand, picking up sticks, writing with chalk, picking up any small items like acorns and putting them in a bucket. We also love fine motor outdoor activities because picking up small items to use in play encourages so much imagination. There's so many endless possibilities that a stick can become. It can be a wand, a sword, a microphone, a pencil. Follow their lead with whatever they choose to make of their natural item and add to their ideas as you interact with your child.
Art is another fine motor activity that you can have outside in nature. Nature art is done with minimal materials that you bring from indoors, but gathering more natural material outdoors. Aside from support finding materials, keep these art activities open-ended and allow your child to create whatever they want. The process of problem solving involved in art is much more valuable than what comes as a finished product. Open-ended art activities will also allow your child to be engaged for much longer periods of time. So think of some ways that you can incorporate nature into art outdoors. So as we talked about some of the motor development and how outdoor nature play can support it, there's a list of activities, some of the activities that we discussed on the presentation. You're going to take a moment now to pause the video and write down one activity that you might want to try with your child or with your students. And think about how will you support your child as they play and as they take risk outdoors. When you're ready, you can restart the video.
Now that you have an idea of some motor activities you want to incorporate, we're going to move on to the area of development of social emotional skills. The most vital skills for school success are social emotional skills. Skills like emotional regulation, cooperation with peers, interacting with groups. Outdoor free play has a major role in playing and teaching these skills. Scientific and anecdotal research suggests that many anxiety disorders, behavioral challenges, and sensory sensitivities can be prevented or lessened with more active free play outdoors. The physical outdoor space and exploration reduces stress and anxiety, which can be a significant barrier to learning or success in social exchanges. Teaching social emotional skills in the outdoors includes both opportunities for quiet spaces, for solo activities, and opportunities for cooperative activities. Quiet spaces in the naturally calming outdoors, such as a lean-to, seen here, can help support regulation and can be created using blankets, tents. You might offer a quiet meal in a quiet space or offer to read a book. Next, we're going to look at some social and cooperative activities that really help support those social emotional skills. Our first favorite activity is mud kitchens. With the high stress and distractions of indoor spaces eliminated, outdoor cooperative activities like mud kitchens can provide a reduced stress opportunity for social success. In play, you'll often see preschool children imitate common adult activities. For example, talking on the phone or feeding the baby. Mud kitchens provide that outdoor opportunity to take on that role playing. They can practice conversational exchange as well as work on cooperative play skills. To set up a mud kitchen, you just need a flat surface and some old unwanted kitchen materials such as Tupperware, old pots and pans, wooden spoons. With your mud, collect other natural materials such as dandelions, grass, or twigs. Allow your child to lead the play, and you can join in by modeling some simple actions such as mixing, stirring, pouring, or you could also present opportunities for problem solving, like what can we use to make a pie, or how can we share this with everyone? A bonus note on mud kitchens is that playing in mud and dirt actually helps to build your child's immune system.
Gardening is an outdoor opportunity that really includes all areas of development and many academic concepts as well. As you can see, it really does promote problem-solving skills, conversational skills, cooperative work skills, and sense of self and pride, as well as scientific reasoning and observational skills. We really want to highlight gardening as a way to build social skills. Cooperatively working to grow plants with peers or family members provides opportunities for children to contribute to a group goal and engage in cooperative problem-solving process. On this slide, you'll see that we have two resources that can provide some guidance on getting started with gardening with your child or with your students. And we want to give you an opportunity to explore some different resources. You can pause the video and use your smartphone, turn on the camera, and if you hover the camera on top of the QR code or that image, that black and white image, it will prompt you to open up a website. And we encourage you to go ahead and open up these websites and save them to explore. They have many great ideas on how to get started with gardening.
So we've looked at some motor development. We've also looked at social emotional development in the outdoor learning spaces. The next thing we're going to look at is communication. Children are naturally curious about their surroundings and natural environments. This motivation to explore provides us as caregivers with so many opportunities to develop and use language to accompany their play. Communication can be built into everything, and we're going to share 3 opportunities in which it's easy to build and you can do repeatedly. In each of these opportunities, you'll want to remember these 3 strategies. The first is to narrate your actions and the child's actions. So this might look like, I'm looking up in the trees to see what I can find, or you are digging a big hole. The next is to use descriptive language. This might sound like, wow, I see so many colors, red, orange, and yellow, or the leaves are so crunchy when we walk on them. And the next is to ask open-ended questions. Something like, I wonder what we'll see on our nature walk, or how do you think the animals stay warm? Pause the video now and review some of those examples before we talk about different activities. Our first communication opportunity is natural sensory play. We mentioned activities such as digging in dirt and sand as great fine motor activities. These sensory activities can also be a great time to work on communication. We naturally learn through our senses, and you may have noticed that your child has a natural inclination to stomp in puddles or pick up pine cones. Sensory play can happen anywhere outside with any materials you can find, like dirt, sand, grass, mud. Pair any of these materials with cups, spoons, tongs, shovels, empty bottles, funnels, or even hide small manipulatives in a pile of grass. To make this a communication building activity for your child, you'll participate by narrating what you and your child are doing, like you are scooping with a shovel, or I'm going to use the cup and make a castle. You'll also use descriptive language. The mud feels so slimy. The grass is so soft. I'm going to make it flat and smooth. And lastly, try asking some open-ended questions about their sensory play, like how did you make that? Or how do you think that feels?
Nature walks and scavenger hunts are a great, rich opportunity to work on language development. They also include opportunities for flexibility, as scavenger hunts may not always turn out as you predict. Before you head out the door, discuss what you might find on your hunt using open-ended questions like, what do you think we'll find today? Or use pictures to label items to look for. As you hunt, sing songs and describe items you are looking for. These walks are a great way to incorporate location words such as in, on, under, up high, down low, in descriptive language, like we were talking slimy or crunchy or round. You can match pictures to items you find when you find them, or use a writing utensil or stickers to mark items that you found on your paper. When all your items have been found, review items using a sorting, or you can ask open-ended questions about your experience. Nature walks and scavenger hunts can be done in so many ways, and that you can use this activity frequently and vary your objectives. One day you might be going on a walk looking for letters in your child's name, and the next day you might be finding different materials in nature to make a nature collage. Other ideas include looking for shapes in nature, different kinds of texture, using your senses, or seasonal items, especially right now in spring. Everything is changing all the time and everything is so colorful. If you Google preschool scavenger hunts, you're gonna come up with so many new ideas. So if you're looking for something, don't be afraid to Google preschool scavenger hunt and get some new ideas. And you can see on the slide, there's lots of different ways to make sure you're narrating your child's actions, using descriptive language, and continuing to ask open-ended questions during this activity. We want to highlight, and we know that there are rainy days that are not perfect, but we want you to use those rainy days as a whole new world to explore. There are different senses to discuss, new animals to investigate, and new opportunities to create. And rainy days bring many new language opportunities. So grab your raincoats and boots and take advantage of all the rainy days that we have. You can see great ways to narrate your child's language. That was a big splash in that puddle. Or the descriptive language. I hear the rain dripping from the roof. Drip, drip, drip. Or asking questions. Where do you think the animals go when it rains? You can lead your child's exploration of where the water flows, talk about sink and float with puddles, make observations about the weather, look for animals. Be sure that you're focusing on that communication and taking advantage of this great opportunity when it is a rainy day. The great thing about all of these communication activities is that they require very little materials to gather and can be done anywhere, anytime. Think about the natural sensory play experiences, the scavenger hunt, and the rainy day activities we were just talking about. Take a moment and pause the video and think about which activity you would like to try with your child. What is one narration you would like to try during that activity? And write that down. What is one descriptive phrase you would like to try to use? And think of an open-ended question you would like to try. When you're ready, you can restart the video.
We'll now move on to looking at some cognitive and academic skills that you can incorporate in outdoor learning. Cognitive skills such as memory, analyzing, comparing, understanding cause and effect are all learned through real-life experiences. Children learn best through hands-on, meaningful play. Outdoor play can provide young children with the enriching cognitive experiences to build these skills from an early age. A strong sensory integration from natural play spaces and materials allows for a higher incidence of learning. We have highlighted some activities and ideas for learning some cognitive and academic concepts as you and your child engage with the outdoors. Remember to follow your child's lead to make it the most meaningful to them. First, we'll look at math and number sense in nature. These are easily incorporated into everyday outdoor learning because the natural world is full of naturally occurring patterns and shapes. From the complex patterns on a seashell to a collection of rocks, you can make math happen anywhere. When on a walk, try to identify some naturally occurring patterns by looking closely at tree bark or leaves, or simply explore the shapes of rocks. I love to find rocks of various shapes and sizes and then trace them and have my students match them. A collection of natural materials such as sticks and flowers can provide exciting opportunities for practice with counting and sorting. You can collect some items in a bucket. Remember that great fine motor activity of where we're picking up small things and collecting them, and then practice counting them with one-to-one correspondence. Or you can try sorting them by size or color or shape. You can draw squares or circles with chalk and ask your child to put one stick in each square. This is an example of using one-to-one correspondence. This QR code will take you to a great video on how to use nature to teach math skills. Use your device and scan the QR code to watch the video and consider one math activity you would like to try. Be sure to save this site for future reference, as there are so many great ideas, not only on math, but in other areas of development and using nature to teach skills.
Preschoolers are often interested in activities that encourage letter and number formation and meaningful writing and drawing activities. But you might notice that they're not always interested in paper and pencil tasks at the table. So it might be a great opportunity to try using sticks to draw in the mud or create letters with small twigs. These might be more meaningful experience and hands-on activities that will have a greater impact on transferring writing and literacy skills later on when they need them, when they're in school and they're using paper and pencil tasks. Writing and literacy happen in nature in so many fun ways. And you'll see these are some great ideas. Again, using sticks for writing in the mud or the gravel or in the snow. Use water and paintbrushes to write on the sidewalk. Form letters using any kind of materials, twigs or rocks or any objects found in nature. Draw a letter with chalk and place natural materials following the line just to cover it and recreate that shape. You might bring a notebook and encourage a little bit of paper pencil and see what they can draw, what they find in nature. Trace shadows on the sidewalk with chalk and add natural materials to make face and clothes. So many great opportunities to build upon writing and literacy skills in nature.
And finally, for cognition and academic concepts, we have having fun on a hill. And the hills provide us with so many opportunities to learn the basics of physics. Some of the most meaningful and fun activities can be found on a hill. And we know when children see a hill, their automatic inclination is to run up it and then roll down it. So we're going to take advantage of that and learn some physics. Some of the activities you could try are just rolling items down a hill. You can make predictions and compare results of what actually happened. Go back to those open-ended questions and ask which one's going to go faster, or how do you think this one's going to roll? Collect items of different shapes. You can match items to 2D pictures of shapes and ask which shape will roll down the hill fastest. You can then sort these items of which ones rolled and which ones did not roll. A fun activity might be to add ramps to a hill just by using wood planks, or if you've got car tracks at home, add those to the hill. How does it change the way the item moves? You can also try building sleds for items that don't roll. What can be used to make a sled? When you use these ideas for physics fun on a hill, you're giving your child opportunities for analyzing, comparing, evaluating all these higher order cognitive skills that are really meaningful to them and building their cognition.
We have learned many ways to incorporate developmental activities into free outdoor play. This resource with this QR code is an all-encompassing resource with ideas that span many areas of development. Please pause your video now to check out the resource and decide on an activity you'd like to try. Be sure to save this site as a resource to use.
If you have more of an interest in implementing more outdoor natural play, please see these 2 additional resources. The first is an article from the National Wildlife Foundation, and the second is a book called Balanced and Barefoot by Angela J. Hanscom. We used a lot of the information for this presentation from these 2 resources, and there's a lot more on there. So we encourage you to check them out if this is something that interests you. Go ahead and pause your video and use your device to scan the QR codes and save these 2 resources.
Thank you for learning with us today. We hope you enjoy moving some of your learning outdoors with your children. If you have more questions, please contact your child's teacher. Have fun!